We are in the all new, I don't know if I can even say all new anymore because it's kind of new. You know what I mean? I mean, this could be a 2021. I think it is brand new. We're in a G82 M4. I almost said G80 M3 and I've been almost saying that all day. We're in an M4 Competition, not the X-Drive, the rear-wheel drive, and I can tell you why I know that. In first gear, it has nearly zero traction. I'm in like M performance traction or like whatever the sport traction mode is. So it's partial traction, but it literally has nothing. I've been driving the car around for 10, 15 minutes. No, okay, that's a lot. It's been like 30 minutes. I forgot some things. I had to go some places. But right now, we're taking the car up to what is called Duluth, near my hometown. Really nice driving road, but I'm gonna get ahead of this car because I got things to do. The car sounds pretty good. I'm not sure if the sound's artificial in the cockpit, but it is BMW, so we're gonna assume so. I'll give you guys my quick thoughts and then we'll kind of go. I haven't really driven the car. I've just been driving in the city. A couple things I noticed. The car is really quick after second gear because you have literally no traction in first gear, like literally nothing. Like it just spins tires. You don't even fishtail. You just sit in one spot and you don't do anything. Look, right as we're going up the hill, it starts raining. We are in a literal drift mobile, so I guess we're gonna be doing some drifting today. The spec on this car is beautiful. We've got like that Nardo style gray. I'm not gonna act like I know what BMW calls it. Fuel reserve, what? Well, I filled this car up, I put $120 into it, and we're on zero fuel. Either that's a fuel sensor issue, or our gas has been leaking out of the car every second. Is that a sensor issue, or do we have fuel? 44, we're dropped another mile. Now, the good news is, I can assure you, I haven't hit anything. We're off to a great start in the video. All right, currently back at the gas station. It doesn't seem to be a fuel leak. $100 I just put in is either on the floor or the car just didn't register it at all. Like, it's very weird. We're at the mileage, it seems, with what we were at before, and we're not losing fuel. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna test to see how much more fuel it'll let me put in, which should be literally 50 cents. And if that is the case, then we already have a good verdict on the electronics of the new 2021 BMW M4 Competition. I'm gonna give you guys an explanation, but I'm also gonna give it to Billy at the exact same time, so listen up. Hey Billy, I'm gonna record this too, just to make sure we're both on the same page of how stupid I am. You ready?
Yeah.
So, I got in content mode when I got to the gas station. I don't know why I would put the pump in and then not press the thing. I must have taken photos and shots of it, came back to the pump and read the last person's thing, which by the way was 22 gallons, and I was very impressed that a BMW M4 took $105 of gas, though I'm used...
When you said that, I was like, holy cow, that's a lot of money for gas.
And then I'm like, oh, it's just California, because California sucks. And then here I am, and I realized as I was filling it up that there's no chance this tank takes 22 gallons, and that I just let the pump sit in it until I checked my bank statements and I put $0 of gas in.
Oh, that's so funny. I talked to my business partner too. He said that it could have potentially just reset when you were driving if you did fill it up and did that, because even his RS3 had done that.
Yeah.
Because but he's on E and stuff, so it shouldn't have done it.
You can just tell your business partner I'm an idiot, and we'll just call it a day. Hey, I was just telling Katie the other day that I have stupid moments sometimes. Now we are beginning the review, in which I was supposed to do
an hour ago. We were about to just say, you know what, it's the sensor, just drive through it.
And just drive through it. Yeah, that would have been
screwed.
good. It was a piece of me that wanted to start said video with bad news about the electronics of BMW. Instead of that, I have bad news about myself. So we're back in the car. We've got gas now. For those wondering, this car takes about 15 gallons of fuel, not 22. It did start to drizzle a little, which means our traction is negative now. It went from 0 to negative, but it's fine, guys. We're only gonna be here for the content. It's a beautiful cloudy day out. The photos are gonna look good, and the cinematics are gonna look good. I owned a first-gen BMW M2. I've always been a BMW fanboy, especially the M, and this is the infamous car that was probably the most controversial product to ever leave BMW over the past 10, 20 years. I feel like most people have opened up to the grille. I was never really the biggest hater from the get-go. I didn't think it looked good, but I didn't think it was terrible, and I kind of figured it was something that would grow on me. It has grown on me, but I think we've hit max growth. It looks good, depends on the paint. I think in person it looks better than it does in photos and videos. That I will say, I think most people can agree that, but I'm sure a lot of you guys still hate it, and for that, we'll leave it at that. As most BMWs go, the steering is heavy as shit. The benchmark for steering is kind of like Ferrari, and I think Ferrari's got that light yet precise steering, whereas BMW, it's like, almost feels like you just don't have power steering at all. But I do like it. It makes it feel precise, so no complaints on that. My brother's sitting next to me. He's got an E92 M3, so he's used to it as well as I was with my M2.
My car feels like you're steering a power steering-less tractor in like 3 pounds of dirt.
I am a big fan of the X-Drive, and I'm a bigger fan of the M3. So for me, if I was to partake in the G80, G82, series, should we call it, that would be the route I would take. I would do an M3 X Drive just because the ability to be able to switch it up and have both a rear-wheel drive car and an all-wheel drive car, which I always loved in the M5. I just never thought that car looked that great, and it's kind of boaty and luxurious, which to some is good, I guess. But I think the M3 X Drive is kind of the better iteration of that. It does a sub 3 second 60, puts power down, whereas this, I don't know. It depends on what car you're looking for. If you're looking for like an absolute hoon mobile, this is your car. And at least in second gear plus, you actually put power down. I'm sure on the track, that lack of traction, I'm not sure if that's a good thing, is fun. I'm not sure it's a good thing, but it's a fun thing. I'm gonna drive the car around a little more, get some more thoughts on actual driving roads, but first, take a look at this car from both the outside and the inside. First of all, today is a gorgeous day. I've been driving these roads a lot lately whenever I come down here, just taking, like I took the RS3 through roads similar to these, and it makes me forget how beautiful it is out here in Temecula, Murrieta, California. Like, you have like a countryside, but in the countryside is a bunch of these huge houses, huge properties, and perfect areas to film. That's the one thing about California over like Arizona where I live, is there's much better areas to film. And this car sounds really good. It definitely could use an exhaust, but woo! I love every angle of this car besides the front. I don't hate it, I just don't love it.
How does it sound outside?
Good.
Yeah?
It needs an exhaust, but. All right, it's really starting to rain now, so we're gonna be able to test the traction of this vehicle, which I can tell you right now is gonna be close to 0. Okay, another thing I don't like, the heads-up display is in your face. I'm sure you can get rid of it.
It's too much.
But it's annoying. You can't look past it. It's just there, and it blocks a part of the road. A couple things I'm noticing, for those worried about how big this car is, it doesn't drive big. It feels light. It's one of those cars that's heavy and feels light, and I think a lot of companies are kind of figuring that out right now, and I think that's a good thing because cars are getting bigger. The new Porsche 992s are pretty big. At least these new cars, as they get bigger, still can feel nimble and light. DSC inactive. Now this car, it's pretty much gonna ice skate. Dude, this thing is a drift mobile. If you want a hoon car, you buy one of these. I want to shout out Elevate for giving me this. Billy, you're a savage. I like to know that kids I grew up and went to high school with are out doing A, big things, and B, like cars. Anyone that likes cars, my kind of people. This is a driver's car. And I think it helps that I don't really own that much of a driver's car anymore to make me appreciate this, because I haven't actually spent time since my GT4, and like in Arizona, I don't have the greatest roads close to me, so this is actually really nice. I am enjoying a G82 M4, and I never thought I would. I guess I just had low hopes for this car because the direction BMW is going is not my favorite. Though, BMW, don't take that the wrong way. Money included, one of these costs around 80 grand. Spec for a rear-wheel drive. I'm pretty sure I'm accurate on that. Would you save the money, spend 50 grand on a F80, or would you go one of these?
Well, I wouldn't buy a new one. I definitely would not buy a new one.
Now, I personally would love to get behind the wheel of an X Drive. I think that's gonna be the sweet spot for me, because you're gonna get like that M5 comp power with the ability to go hoon around like I just did. That's the other thing. A lot of people talk shit on this transmission, and I agree and disagree. I disagree because it's really quick. It hasn't lost its personality. Everyone says it's just personalityless, which it's not, and that goes along with the con is, from my understanding, they wanted a less finicky, gimmicky, I don't know what word I'm gonna use, just a more put together transmission. And I just think, honestly, in first gear, this is just as clunky as DCT was, and the shifts are not much quicker. I'd say the shifts are a tiny bit quicker, maybe. But as far as gimmicky goes, I kind of miss that dual clutch, right? If you're gonna have a transmission that doesn't fix that issue, give me the one with more personality. Even through second. Spun for 1 second in third. Again, I'll have them linked down below if you guys want to rent a car. I'm really getting to the point where I'm not promoting people I wouldn't promote to a friend. I wouldn't tell a friend. So Billy's a kid, again, I went to high school with. There's really not a lot of opportunity for rentals out here. And if you live in San Diego, Orange County, LA, it's not a far drive, so. Ladies and gentlemen, that is gonna bring a wrap to today's video. I wanna wrap it on this. This is the big summary for you guys. It was better than I thought, by a lot. I have watched a lot of reviews on the G80. Now again, I haven't driven the X-Drive. I'd love to drive an X-Drive. And again, that was a competition. So I'm not sure if just the regular M3, M4 is as good, but I really enjoyed the car. I thought it was good. I thought it lacked a little bit of traction, putting power down, but at the same time, if you're buying an M product, you're buying a driver's car, you're buying a car to go hoon around and to drive around track and drive around canyon. I think it did a good job. I think the X-Drive would be better. That's just my opinion. The car was plenty fast, sounded good. Interior's beautiful, though the front, some people don't think it looks that good. I think all around it's a good package. It didn't feel heavy. But yeah, again, huge shout out to Billy and the rental company for giving me the car for the day. Again, I have them linked down below, and I will see you guys in the next upload. Peace.